Well, hello everyone. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Talk with William Morris. We are in our second week of our new series called the Talk called Unconditional Love. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is William Morris, and I am the TTWM teaching pastor here. I am the life coach. I am the the teaching pastor here. On this platform, we take topics that are in the celebrity world, that are in the spiritual world, that are in the physical world, that are in the financial world. We take all of those topics and we try to make them as relatable as they can be. Last week, we went over the definition of unconditional love, what unconditional love looks like, and how it plays out in our culture. This week, we're going to be discussing more in depth about self love. We, un- we understand what unconditional love means. Now we need to understand what self love means. And I mentioned in my comment section. I'm sorry, not my comment section. I mentioned in my in the last live that we did about this that self love is a combination of accountability and responsibility for everything that you've said, done, heard, whatever it is, and that also means you going back into your mind and really reaching into the depth of your soul to really understand that you need to love yourself before you can love anyone else. That is what self love is all about. Now, I'm not going to keep y'all here long because I got stuff to do tomorrow and I got business to take care of tomorrow, so I'm not going to be here very long. But I did want to address what I perceive to be a problem here. And this is what I wanted to address. I have been getting some of you all that are in the comment. This is the disclaimer for those of you that are still asking me about this and that are still wanting me to come onto your platform and rehash this issue. I respectfully ask you to please stop. The issue in question has been dealt with, has been done with, and I do not want to continue to talk about this issue. Okay? If you have any other issues or topics that you would like for me to address or talk about, I will, but I will not be coming onto your platform. I will not be talking about this issue any further. This is not the beef sector part of the platform. If you want that, you need to go elsewhere. This platform is not the beef sector. We are not part of the beef sector. We do not intersect with the beef sector. We have no interest in starting anything that we can't finish. We have no interest in engaging with anyone that wants to be messy. Now, if that's you and you're in my chat or you're in the comment section trying to entice me to come over to your platform, just know that I have no interest in talking about the issue. Now, if you guys are not aware, let me go a little bit in depth so that you guys can understand, and we're going to get back into the what we're here for. So about a couple of weeks ago, I was on a Conscious TV platform, and there was a young man by the name of Denot, he, a couple of weeks prior to this, was first introduced me. I'm sorry, was first in. I can't even talk to save my life. He was first introduced to me and to everybody on the Conscious TV YouTube channel. Okay? That's how I know of him. Before then, I've never heard of him. I've never known who he was. I don't know, I still don't know who he is or anything like that. And he was brought on to discuss, at that time, the situation with Jaguar and her husband, Guma. And he said a lot of stuff that made sense and it didn't make sense at the same time. But so that was cool. Then a couple of weeks later, he brings Conscious TV. Shout out to my boy Conscious. The man has been working and working and working and doing the change, honey. Doing the change, okay? But Conscious brings Denat back to the platform to talk about this lawsuit, right? I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna show this comment. Let me finish this. Let me finish up what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna get to you, Goten, because this is pretty much why I'm ending this entire conversation with the knot and with you constantly asking me to come on. So he gets onto the platform, talks about this lawsuit that was filed against him by another YouTuber, and Conscious TV proceeds to invite on the panel Conscious proceeds to invite the rest of the panelists to come on, and I was one of them. Okay, I was giving my thoughts about the case and all that good stuff, and I did not address Denat. I did not say anything terrible or wrong or got out of pocket with Denat. The topic that I was addressing was the topic at hand, which was about the lawsuit. Okay? The reason why I'm giving you guys this context is because I want you to understand why I do not want to keep talking about this. So I get on the panel, I address the topic at hand, and I'm asking, why is this YouTuber so pressed about Denat and all this good stuff? What was his problem and all this good stuff? And Denat proceeds to drag them things and do what he do, right? So after about 3/4 in a minute, I proceed to say, if this case were to come before Judge William Morris, meaning me, then Denat says, and I quote, William Morris, that sounds like a white man's name. And I said, excuse me, sir, but I am not talking to you. I'm addressing the topic at hand. And that's when his little, that's when one of his, I'm going to say power puff girls, because, I'm not trying to be shady, but that's been one of his channel members started to get into the fray and started to wanted to call me out because she thought I was being disrespectful towards Denat for whatever reason. And so she's coming out of pocket with me. Denat is then jumping into the fray, and that is confusing the entire audience because everybody is like, what the hell happened? Right? So as they were trying to drag me Gochin, I'm gonna need you to remember that this is not the not channel. This is not Myth Cat Medusa. This is not any of that. Okay? She is the reason why that whole fight started. I was not coming for her. I did not address her, and I did not address Dana. Okay? Who I addressed, what I addressed was the topic at hand. So because I addressed the topic at hand, she proceeds to drag me because she thought I was being disrespectful to Deny when I wasn't. I don't care if you know her I don't care if you know her. This is the problem. This is why I keep refusing to talk about this because y'all, you keep trying to make this about who is she and no. That's not what this is. So, at the point, so when I called her a bitch, see, this is why I didn't want to address this. See, when I called her a bitch, that was because she kept jumping into the fray and kept making the situation less more convoluted than what it should have been. She was the one that jumped into the fray that tried to make everything sound like I was the one that was talking all that mess about her and about not in the chat, which I proved after that whole conversation was diluted about a couple of days later that was not true. Denot was responding to somebody else named Cat Williams Pern. That was the person that he was responding to. I was nowhere in the chat. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Like you're making no sense here, Goshen. Like I'm still trying to figure out like what exactly are you getting at here, man? So here's the problem that I had with that whole entire situation when it got out of hand. I came up there to agree with Dana before Miss Cat jumped into the fray. And when I tried to make that clear, they didn't want to hear it. Yes, I do, but here's the thing. My name, William Morris, there are plenty of black people that have there are plenty of black men that have my name. So please stop that. Like William Morris is not is a typical name. It's a typical American name. Is it white? Of course. But my name is can be identified with um can be identified with black people as well. William, you have a William. Sometimes you have a Carl. Sometimes you have a Carlo. Sometimes all of these names are white-sounding names that are given to us by our black parents. So let's not do that, please. Okay. I hear what y'all are saying, but I'm also saying that if I would not address things, then not directly, coming up and trying to shade me from having no, no. What ended up happening was that was a dig. So even though Denat had a point, the fact that he even tried to utilize my name as a dig, that's the problem that I had. So I'm trying to understand. So even though if that's the case, then those of us that have these white sounding names like Willie, Earl, Carlos, with Carlos is more Hispanic, more of the South American name. So this is this is the reason why I didn't want to address this, because I had other stuff planned, but since y'all want me to address it, here we go. Because I came up into the chat to agree with Denat, and his pit bull decided to attack me for no other reason outside of because she thought I was being disrespectful when I'm clear in that that's just how I am usually. Like when I get around black people, that's just me. I'm just me. So and then I'm going off as a whole, this and that and the third, and I'm not trying to be mean or nothing and all. So that's just usually my personality, right? So I don't understand why Miss Cat Medusa thought it was okay for her to jump in when that really wasn't her place, nor was that her right to jump in the middle of something that had nothing to do with her at all. I understand, but I'm also aware that the dig that he made was an insult. So that's what I was trying to get you to see. He wasn't saying that. Gotan, please leave. He wasn't saying that uh to so he see, this is why some of y'all you need to move on. Okay, this particular sector is not the beef sector. It's not the this ain't it. Goten, you need to move on to something else. The sector that I'm in right now is not the beef sector. We do not have beef over here. We do not talk about this. We try to keep it strictly what it is. This The Hawk with William Morris is a YouTube channel that is all about making topic relatable to everything that we do in our everyday life. So taking information that's already available, that's already out there, and then sorting through the noise and filtering through the noise so that we can walk away with a different perspective. That is what this channel is all about. Now, if you're coming over here to get tea on said person, I can't do that. I don't know what else to do. So yeah. Let me say this. Somebody said panels are always, yep, that's true. Um I will say though, however, that just because a panel is messy, that doesn't mean you can't get anything out of it, right? I mean, you would agree with me, don't you? I mean, we can always agree to disagree on the delivery of what the person is saying, but at the very least, we can have those conversations because those conversations were was needed. I don't think I don't think um that the portion of um the portion that um Janat was trying to say was like, hey, that's a white sounding name, which it may could very well have been, but I've never heard of this William Morris being an Italian agent. I'm sorry, like that was not a thing I heard, but before then. That's not the topic of this conversation. I honestly, I don't know what you mean by this, but there are plenty that we have been around for centuries, even in Africa. We've been around for centuries. So, what are you trying to say here? Are you trying to say that because people are dark skinned, that they did not have disabilities? Because if that's what you're saying, I'm gonna have to stop you there. Some of us did. Yeah, no, 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 goatee. They did. Um, back in the day, um, uh, Goatson, I'm gonna help you out with something, my man. We did not live 6 trillion years ago. Human beings have been on this earth for at least more than 3 million, maybe 4, maybe 5 million years. If we lived that long, we would have seen past the point of the universe when it was born. We didn't see past the point of the universe, my friend. Because the universe is older than that. So I don't know where you got this that from. But anyway, it was my immediate thought when I saw your screen name, William. I also became. Oh well, thank you so much. Thank you. Maybe I should probably change my screen name um, to something that's a little bit more creative. But I thought that William Morris was well, that's my name. But I thought that um, we could have a civilized dialogue. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. I am not going on your panel. I am not gonna have anybody on this platform going over to anybody else's platform unless they have a unless there is a specific reason for it. Like you wanna uh so I'm not here to start beef. I'm here to recount my retelling of what happened. So here's the thing. Once the dust has settled that night, I immediately went live after Conscious TV. When Conscious TV kicked everybody out, I immediately went live. Um, and I gave my side of the story, and I said, "Hey, this is what happened. This is how I felt." Da 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 da. And Conscious TV coming under my platform, under that video, and said, "Hey, you handled yourself very well. You know, you didn't let any of these whores get to you, and all that good stuff." And so that brought me some kind of peace, to know that at least I have somebody in my corner fighting. But what I did not know was that there were some that were in the comments that were pushing back against the not ableist comment. So yeah. Dude, this is why do you what if can I ask you something, Goshen? Is this your whole purpose right now? Is to start beef with people? Because if so, you can leave this channel completely. You don't have to be here. Yeah, that's not what this channel is. This channel is not beef. We don't do beef. We don't do none of that. So, yeah. So when I came, so getting back to the story, uh, so when I decided, you know what, I'm going to um go 10, no matter how many times you try to tell me to drop the link, it will not happen. I'm sorry. Like I have a whole nother thing that I've got planned before you decided you wanted me to address it. So now that I'm addressing it, you could just sit there and take it. I didn't want to. But you got in the comment section, you wanted me to come up, you wanted me to have this conversation. So now here I am. So once that particular conversation died down and everybody got back on their feet, and I decided, you know what, I need a breather. And Constant TV messaged me. He said, "Hey, that completely went off the rail." He messaged me. He said that uh, Denat was extremely remorseful for what he said. He did not know you were disabled. At least that's what he claimed. Da 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 da. And um, I said, okay, cool. Um, so he started to facilitate the conversation and started to get both myself and Denat in the same room so that we could have this conversation. Once that took place, my immediate thought was, okay, at least we can have a civilized conversation about this. At least we know what we're dealing with. At least it's not as bad as it was. You know, at least we can at least have some type of conversation about why he felt the way that he felt, or at the very least try to get some accountability and responsibility out of this so that we can move forward and clear up this what both myself and Conscious believe to be a misunderstanding. And that's what that was. So finally, we get everybody's on board, and Conscious TV goes live. And we go live, Conscious TV starts asking me, so hey, what do you think about this situation? Did you think that it was necessary for those ableist comments and da. And I just basically gave my take on everything. Actually, want to go up to another comment that I saw, and I want to say, thank you, Trevor. I think that's your name. Thank you so much for that. I think a lot of people miss how well I handle myself when I'm under a stress situation. And so I really do want to thank you so much for for that comment. It means a lot to me to know that at least somebody was there to kind of say, you know what, that's what happened, but just understand that this is what they were thinking at this point. But I want to say thank you so much for that. For that. Bill Chen, what do you want to talk to me about, my brother? Because here's the thing. There's nothing I can say to you. There's nothing I want to say to you. And Hansa, do you wish you had a free call before the line? Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Trevor. Nobody else but Trevor is going to be on this live. Now, let me do this because I want there to be a stay. Now go 10 if you want. You can come up as well. I will leave the link in the description, the link in the chat so you guys can come up. But please keep it respectful. Over here, we don't do drama. We don't do mess. Okay. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. I know you don't have any dog in the fight. I'm just saying. It'll be nice to have somebody to conversate with since I'm the only person doing this live. um, Originally, I had planned on doing something else, but that's not possible. All right. I'm gonna put you on mute. Uh,
Yo, what's up, man? Why you not interested of coming on my panel, man? What's up, man? Cause you
well,
disrespected Miss Cat Medusa, okay? She'll go gangster on your black ass. She don't play.
this is why
Nice.
I
She's
don't.
nice, my nigga. She
This
is
is
very
why.
nice.
Hang on. You're on my
Oh,
panel, so
yeah,
please
yeah,
keep it
yeah.
respectful.
I'm
Okay.
gonna keep it respectful, nigga. Call
Don't.
her a Powerpuff Girl and call her a bitch 3 times.
Why
What the
are
fuck is wrong with you, nigga?
Why are you getting upset, bro? You don't even know her like that.
Well, I do now, but I never met her in person. She is very politeful, okay? You don't want to get on her bad side, my nigga, because you already did, my nigga.
If that's all you have to say, then this discussion is
No,
we
no, no, no. You're not going to
yeah.
disrespect me, nigga. You're not going to disrespect me.
Who
And
is
you're not going to
Whoa, whoa,
disrespect
whoa, whoa,
Miss
whoa.
Cat
Go 10,
Medusa.
go 10, go 10, go 10.
What?
If
What,
that's
man?
all you have to say, please get off this live.
No, no, no. I ain't going nowhere,
Because
nigga.
be
You owe Miss
okay.
Cat Medusa apology, nigga.
Goodbye.
Apologize to her. Apologize.
I will not have anybody on this channel coming up disrespecting me and disrespecting the channel. I'm sorry. I have way too much respect for myself to allow somebody like a Goten come in my platform and start cussing me out because I had a disagreement about who he thinks is his friend. No. If she hadn't started that fight, I would not have been where I was at. But since she started that fight, it is on. I think I deserve that apology, not the other way around. What is going on? Um, what is? Let me see. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Hey, how you doing, Trevor?
Hey, hey, William.
Okay,
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
that's good. Yeah, it's funny. I had a feeling that, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
So I had a feeling that that initial caller before me had a different type of agenda. So therefore, I was a little bit hesitant to come up.
So you kind of wanted to flesh that out first before you came up. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, no, I absolutely, yeah. He's been asking for weeks for him to want to join his platform and all that good stuff. And I had a sense that that's what he was here for, but that's not what. And I even told him in the comment section, respectfully, that's not what this channel is. We are not a beef sector. We do not have. We do not. No, I'm sorry. When I created this, when I revamped this platform, I made it my mission.
William, me too. I can't. That's what I. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, no, no. I had a very, very. I follow my gut instinct, and my gut instinct never fouls. Put it that way.
Yeah, it probably same here. I'm wondering though because my whole this was my whole
Good.
situation with that. I had a whole entire life planned for another separate show that I was gonna do, but here we are. um, here's the problem that I had
Absolutely.
with the whole situation on Conscious TV platform. It wasn't that the name was white. It was the dig and it was and how he said it that I took issue with. And it wasn't even that. It was I wasn't even addressing the YouTuber at hand. I was addressing the topic. Then that's when Miss I'm assuming Miss Cat Medusa, one of his mods or one of his channel members, decided to jump in and started to, call me out my names and all of that good stuff. And I was trying to keep it very, very respectful. But it got to the point to where they were cussing me out, saying all of those ableist statements, and I was just like, what just happened? Like, I literally did not even do anything wrong to deserve those comments. The only
Yep.
thing I said to the YouTuber was, "Hey, I was not addressing you. I was talking about the comment at hand, and I was on my way to agree with him. What was so difficult to understand? It just seemed like he was only on there to.
William, may I just say, can I just say a couple of things? As I said, yeah, as an outsider looking in, yeah,
Right, yeah, go ahead.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so as an good, as an outsider looking in, yeah, as I said to you before, you know, panels are, notoriously messy. Yeah, people make assumptions sometimes. Yeah, and I'm not trying to make any excuses for anybody, but people assume so much. And as I said to you before, when I saw your name in that panel, the first thing that I thought of was the talent agency because it's famous
Uh-huh.
worldwide. Yeah, so as well as the fact that lots of content creators, they make up names,
Right, right. I see where you're going.
and
Yeah.
you just so happen to be, yeah. So to me, as I said to you, I live in Europe. I no longer reside in the US, but I understand, a lot from my time when I was in America. I understand the culture and stuff like that. And I also like sometimes to take some time out to look at something, another way around and try to work that out in order that they can move on. Then, to me, that's a good thing to do. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Um, I actually, and I think that was the whole purpose of Conscious TV's platform, was to try to see if we could clear up the misunderstanding, because that really was the crux of the issue, where it was just a big misunderstanding. And um so when he
Absolutely.
so
I'm so, William, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased to hear those words come out of your mouth. You know, I'm going to sleep tonight a very, very happy man because you've recognised that, and honestly, it really does. It warms my heart.
thank you. I'm very glad to hear you say, to hear those words. I'm very honored that you believe so, because um uh, Conscious TV and I are on the same page. That really was just one giant misunderstanding. And I really, so here's what I'm going to do from here on out with my YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead because I now understand that this name is associated with something else. My real name is actually Willie, and I'm an open book. So I will tell you what my real name is. My real name is Willie. Willie. And that's spelled WILLIE MORRI.
Okay.
So let me.
Okay.
But I went by William just as a preference in my real life. So when people call me, so when people say, for an example, when they say, "Hey, um, what would you prefer we call you as?" And I say, "Oh well, you can call me William," and I also tell them at the same time, although my real name is Willie, I prefer William. And I said, "Oh, okay." But I mean, that's just what it
Okay.
was. So I now, so because I've now used that identity, I am not um uh clear. Now that I know that William Morris is is actually the name of a huge talent agent. I now want to work on getting another name, or perhaps even using my real name that would be beneficial towards me.
Sure, and I also think that you've certainly got a an idea of the kind of topical conversations and content that you want to provide, and hopefully, you'll take some time to think about renaming your chat channel to be more reflective of that, if that makes sense.
Oh no, it definitely does make more sense. And one second, I want to address this individual real quick because um um uh Goten, I'm going to try to keep it respectful here, and I'm not going to use any curse words or anything like that. But I will say this: why am I apologizing to her when she was the one that started the fight? Had she not jumped in and tried to convolute the whole thing, that conversation would have gone much more smoothly. But because she jumped into the fray and started that whole conversation and started that whole fight by attacking me, I have no allegiance to deny or to this person. So I need you to go back, reevaluate what it is that you think you're doing, and allow me, because as I said before, this channel is not beef. We don't start beef. We don't start trouble over here. You came to me. I did not come to you. You wanted me to talk to you on your platform, and I did not respond to you. That not responding to you should have clued you in onto the fact that I was not interested in talking to you, primarily because I knew that you were affiliated with Denat. That's why you came onto my platform. Okay? So, and I also checked out some of your other videos. So if you want to call me out, that's fine. I don't care. One way or the other. The fact of the matter is, once you start something, and I try to put it to bed as civilly as I can. I know that's not a word, but if I try to approach the conversation respectfully, and I try to be as respectful as I can, regardless of who started it, I'm going to do my best to try to see it from the other person's perspective. However, that fight was not between myself and this person you're defending. That fight was between myself and Denat. She should have never gotten involved. I'm sorry that you think that's okay, that you can defend her. That's fine. I don't know these people, and I'm sorry that you're in your feelings about this lady, but I don't know her. So I am not going to waste my breath or my time defending somebody or getting upset over somebody I don't know. Now I will defend Conscious TV. I will defend the YouTubers that I do follow because I have come to understand their position. I know who they are. I know what they're capable of. I'm a regular over there on those panels, so I'm involved. What you're doing is trying to stir up drama, and that's not what this channel is. And as I said to you before, I want you to move on. This channel is not for you. This channel is not for anybody. And if you continue to harass this channel, you will be blocked. Please try to keep it respectful. I did not need the N words curved at me. I did not need the you need to apologize to her. I did not need any of that. I had a totally different plan live before you decided you wanted to come on and throw this whole live into disarray. Please go away. Thank you. I'm sorry, Trevor. Trevor, are you there?
No, there's nothing to apologize for. You know, William, I like it when I see people make informed. Yeah, sure, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, there seems to be a little bit of a delay on your end.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's because I'm very far. Yes, I can hear you. I'm very far away from you. I reside in the Canary Islands. Such great Wi-Fi and internet here. So apologies
Mm.
for the delay.
Oh, no problem.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. I said no problem.
But what I was going to say, William, was it was a pleasure and a
Oh, you.
cool.
Oh, you're
What I
welcome.
was going to say was it was a genuine pleasure to speak with you. I will certainly be keeping an and I it's great when people find a way of articulating how they reach a resolution within themselves, and hearing that in your voice is fantastic. So I'm going to leave you to finish your live, and thank you for allowing me to come up onto your platform. I look forward to speaking with you again in the hopefully not too distant future. And I wish you and your content everything you wish for yourself on the streets of YouTube, which are never boring.
Thank you so much for saying that, my friend. That means a lot to me. And before you get off, I wanted to say um, that I actually have a friend that's from the UK.
Okay, I originate from the UK, but I've lived in different places. I now live in the Canary Islands. So yeah, good. I'm pleased that you recognise the accent.
Oh yeah. I've um um Europe, the UK especially, I think is one of my background is multicultural, so I grew up with a variety of different people from different backgrounds, from Europe, from Japan, from Mexico, from Southeast Asia, from Thailand, from Singapore, from Vietnam. So I had a vast background in dealing in seeing all walks of people from different lifespans. So when I tell you that I have a particular love for the UK even more because I have known two friends that are from there, it just makes it that much more special to know that your accent resonates well with me. That's how I was able to pick it up as easily as I could.
Oh, that's cool. That's really really cool. I often laugh because most people I don't know they assume that they that that my accent is from a number of places, and I'm often told that they don't often hear, particularly black men who sound like me, and I tell them all to visit the UK. You know, I'm not that special when it comes to my accent.
Yeah, see, to me, you sound
I'm
see, and
trying to
this is
make you
what's
laugh,
crazy.
William.
So you're saying that you wait. So you're saying that you're not all that special when it comes to your accent. Now you do know that in America, we consider that to be like one of the most sexiest things a man from the UK.
Oh, listen, when I was in America, it's funny because, as I said to you, when I got back to London, I had friends visit me from America, and I took them up to Scotland, and they just couldn't believe that there were black people and Asian, Indian people with these very thick Scottish accents. They'd never seen or heard these people before, and like to me, it was nothing. It was nothing, you know. But for them, it was jaw dropping because they were like, well, we never see them on TV or we never see these people. So England keeps them hidden away, and obviously, I mean, Scottish people identify as Scottish. They don't identify as British or English. The same with the people from Wales who identify as Welsh. So trying to explain all of that and break it all down for them. And then also, you've got the Irish um, contingency. Just a short way over the sea. It was it was like explaining stuff quite a lot
I
to
I American.
my American
Yeah.
counterpart. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a
Yeah,
lot.
it would not surprise me to know that Americans don't know that. But if you but see, I think that's what
So
kind of sets
I
me
would
apart.
encourage you, you know, if you haven't done.
So yeah, I was gonna say, that's what sets me apart from most of my friends in the U.S. is the fact that because I know people that
I
are.
can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Oh dear. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Absolutely, I can.
Okay, great. That must have been a delay. But um,
Yep,
I was gonna.
absolutely, I can.
Okay. So what I was gonna say is the that's what sets me apart from my American counterparts is that because of my background, I can easily, and I mean easily, blend in with some of the most. And the fact that most Americans don't know that there are African Scottish and African in other in the UK that are in Scotland, that are in Wales, that are in Ireland, in I mean, England, even. It blows their mind. But if you're not from around there and you don't know it, of course it's gonna blow your mind. But if you're somebody that has friends and that really loves the history of the UK, like me, um, I would rather study up on the fascinating history of the monarchy and how that dates all the way back to the founding of the modern day uh, United Kingdom. And I am such a nerd when it comes to um, those particulars because I just find it fascinating that you guys have this long history before America
Yeah.
was even born, and we're like the newer version of you guys, but not really. You guys still hold the crown over us, and some part of me wish we had your political system.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, it was very much an interesting dynamic where we can just where it's conversations like these where I don't have to always have to fight to be heard. You know, like it's just there, and I always want to make sure that I'm doing right by the people that have granted me um my this platform to be used responsibly. So, and I'm always very happy to know that somebody else was from another country, especially in the UK, that I can literally just talk to for like the next 30 to 40 minutes about the culture of the UK and all that good stuff. And um, so I'm always fascinated with the UK's history.
Sure. Well, to mirror that back to you, I think that I know that I left a huge slice of my heart back in America. America gave me so much as a person when it comes to my own identity, my own personal growth, um, finding my place in this world. Um, America did so much for me. It's I always tell people that that travel and stuff like that it expands the mind. And yeah, my I'll always look back at my time in America with such affection. And it kind of gave me an affirmation and a validation that I didn't realize parentage was, practically first generation. I was what they call a product of the Windrush generation, where a lot of people came from different parts of what was the Commonwealth and settled in the UK. And and still remains quite controversial in the history of what the UK is compared to the way that it's now being seen, which is a multicultural um, country, very, very similar in many aspects to America and to other, metropolitan countries around the world.
I yeah, I so
But
that was always what was
but the
fascinating.
thing that I good good well I share your fascination. I chose not to remain in the UK. I don't know if you know this or not, but there was a huge movement in the UK to leave the European Union. Um, and
Brexit.
I was very, very anti Brexit. So I actually yeah, Brexit. Uprooted from the UK in 2015 and was able to move to the Canary Islands and then settle here and still be covered by European law as opposed to British law, which was making several small changes to the movements, particularly coming into the UK, which was exceptionally political and, in my view, blatantly um, racist in the way that it deployed those measures. So I
Mm.
was glad to get out of that, and to head off to the Canaries. And even though I knew that, I was replacing a once very fast paced life with a much slower pace of life, I've never regretted it. Never regretted it. And lived in other places that I would have perhaps had the confidence to relocate to another country permanently. And that's exactly what I've done. And I've never regretted it.
So can I ask you, why do you feel that the um because I know that the Tories, and now I'm going to explain this to my audience that they probably don't know these terms in the UK. The Tories are the Conservative Party in the UK, and the Labours are is the liberal wing of that party in the UK. So both of these parties are pretty dominant, but they don't have a two-party system. They have the Liberal Democrat, which would be considered the Democrat of today, and they have the Scottish National Party, um, which is which it forms its own
That's
political
right.
party, and there are I'm blanking on some more party, but essentially they are a parliamentary republic. They are not bound. I don't. The UK doesn't exactly have a national constitution, but they have a lot of laws that they are bound by tradition. So because of that, my question to you, Trevor, then is from what I gather, because I'm, I am the most. I'm like the British non-British, uh, like most of my family don't even know that I study stuff like this.
Okay, that's probably a good thing, but carry on.
So I ended up. So yeah. What part of the Brexit? What part of the Brexit phenomenon? Because that's what this is. It's a Brexit phenomenon that I think, um, in and of itself, was supposed to be a policy that was supposed to be good, but it but for but based on what we've seen so far from Johnson to Truss to May, going all the way back to Cameron, the prime minister, they did not deliver on their promises. And I'm wondering, and also based on that alone, they didn't even they not
Yep.
only did they deliver on their
And now
promises,
some,
they failed the state of the people there. So gas, like energy prices, have shot up in the UK, which is contributing to their inflation. That is insane to me.
yes. It's a very, very, it's, people don't realize how expensive the UK
Hmm.
is. Yeah, they do not realize it. You know, they can't get their heads around the UK was always expensive, but it became super expensive after it left the European Union. And but I think the other thing that has been quite telling is um, if you look at
Uh, yeah,
the treatment
yeah,
of
yeah.
Meghan Markle, Prince Harry's wife in the UK, for an example, you can see the undercurrent, and institutionally, um, been very, very much about an an imperial is outdated. And one of the reasons why I chose to leave and no longer, give up my citizenship, um, and have no intentions of returning to live in the UK, is that it does come down to personal choice. And there is a level of entitlement that is arrogantly, you know, um, people like myself who are quite liberal in their politics, um, it's a lot to deal with living there. And as I said, the more that I left and I returned, I left and I returned, and when the opportunity came for me to leave, um, I left very quickly and very quietly, and didn't tell a lot of people that I had no intentions of coming back. It took me at least 12 months of like getting everything sorted, and flying back to the UK every 3 months to do certain bits of personal admin and stuff like that, um, to enable me to completely leave. And it wasn't a decision that I took lightly, but I wasn't alone in that decision, because I think that when you live somewhere where at times you're made to feel not quite British enough, or you're told, oh well, you're first generation, that kind of thing. Um, when you don't see that in other parts of the world, and you are not and the lifestyle choices that you make, not to feed into that kind of ignorance, I suppose, is the word, and that you make your choices to live the kind of life that you've worked towards having. um Leaving was something that I never regretted. It was, my family were really upset with me for a little while, because obviously, I mean, I left, they just assumed that I was going on holiday, and farewell or anything like that. I just wanted to leave. And yeah, it was a conversation that we'll have on another day, William, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. Because here's the interesting thing about me, and this is most people. I don't talk to most people about my politics, but I am a liberal, a progressive, if you will. I am a leftist. I do hold the leftist ideology. And because of that, I am able to have a more fleshed out worldview of what policy should look like. And honestly, it is, from what I've seen over there, and just from what I've been reading. And that's the other thing too. A lot of people don't know this about me either. Is that my I mentioned earlier that my fascination with the UK is there. It's like heightened. I actually subscribe to a lot of British TV and news and comedy and all of that. Um, so I feel as though I am one of you, even though I'm like 20,000 miles in another country. And one of the things that I'm very fascinated with is
I
How
understand.
unpopular is the Tories right now?
I don't know because, as I said to you, is I've not lived in the UK. I don't read the British newspapers anymore, and I don't watch the British news either. Um, I'm very very selective about that kind of input of information. I tend to watch world news now, as opposed to getting sucked into the vacuum of the UK. I've been fascinated by the change of leadership and the events surrounding Meghan Markle and her, black woman to join the royal family, and and a lot of what Meghan Markle has actually come out and said she's perceived to be is depending on where you take your news from, a very very interesting fascinating story on a monarchy that was not democratically elected, and I'm sure we've all got views on that. But as I said, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to save that for hopefully another conversation with you, William, on another day.
Yeah, if you want,
Um,
you can email
I've
me. You can
enjoyed
email
very,
me.
very much. Um, sure, I'm going to. I'm sure that we're going to stay in touch. Yeah, offline as well, which which would be brilliant. I'd really really like that. I definitely feel an a kinship towards you.
Yeah, to be honest with you, with the Meghan Markle situation, even I was like, oh, that is messed up how they're treating her. That is that to that is messed up. Huh? Okay. All right, guys, that was Trevor. I think I just made a new friend. um, uh, it sounds to me like he has a bit of a connection issue. So I'm gonna end the stream and I'm going to go live later on this week about the topic that we were supposed to have been discussing about. But let me say this to everybody before I get off this live: do not ask me anymore about the situation between myself and the other YouTuber. Why? Because the situation is over and done with. I am not interested and rehashing this issue. I do not care that if you're going to talk about me, go ahead. I don't care that you're entitled enough to think that you can get an apology out of me when I literally did not start that fight. Okay? The only apology that I will be getting is nothing. Because y'all are so self entitled. You guys are such entitled people that you think people owe you something because you swear some type of allegiance to them. No, 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 you don't. And Gochin, let me make this expressly clear to you, my friend. If you have not learned already the kind of person I am, you need to learn it now. On this platform, we do not bring beef. We do not bring beef to anybody. We do not discuss anything that's outside of the topic that we're supposed to be talking about. Now, if I do bring up those topics, it'll be because there is a lesson within those conversations that needs to be had. You need to be able to see the 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 uh, the intelligence, the lack of emotional intelligence on your end to know that I am not going to be having these conversations anymore about that topic. And as far as whom you're a lead, as far as whom you're aligned with, that's fine. You can be aligned to them all day long. It's not going to change the fact. It's not going to change the fact of what happened. It's going to literally amplify the messiness which you, Goten, has brought over. I don't mind being called out for what I've done wrong. What I mind is the disrespect. It's the swirling of the N word for me when I was not the one that caused it. Now, take yourself back to your platform and discuss me all day long. It won't do me. It won't. If it makes you feel good, it makes you feel good. But do not bring that mess over here because you will get blocked. As a matter of fact, I'm about to block you right now. So we ain't going to have these problems no more. Because I will not be disrespected on my own platform. You're going to get the scooter. I'm sorry, but I have way too much respect for myself to be allowing somebody on my channel to act like they know me and to have conversations with me about nothing about the topic at hand and then want me to somehow apologize for something that I didn't do, didn't say, didn't nothing. And I'm sorry that your feelings got hurt. Like truthfully I am. But I do not hold any allegiance towards you. Okay? Now, if the apology that you want me to have, I will take that apology and I will throw it out the window. Because it's meaningless. It means nothing. Now, I'm done addressing this. This issue is over and done with. I will not talk about this issue anymore. Bring this up on my channel again, and you will get blocked. You have been warned. All right, I want to say thank you so much to Trevor for being on the panel, for enlightening me with some good banter back and forth about his experience living in the UK, about Brexit, about in our fascination with our opposite country Mine is the UK, his is America. And I hope we actually have another conversation like this again, because I was deeply, deeply moved and enlightened by Mr. Trevor. And I just got to say, thank you so much, Mr. Trevor, for being up here and for giving me your ear. And I'm so happy to know that I've met somebody of kindred spirit to mine, just in opposite direction, I would say. All right, you guys have a great rest of your night, and then hopefully later on this week, once I get some other things settled, I will go live again, and we will have this conversation again. All right, bye bye.